Okay. And our next speaker is Jen O'Donnell. Ms. Armaleva. All right.
Ready? Good evening. September 21st this year, I came to you to warn you of the effects of ignoring the crisis of bullying here in Canton. I said we have active shooter training in our schools because it would be irresponsible not to. An active shooter is far more likely when you don't address the problems our children are having today. When we keep brushing them under the rug, when we as a society ignore the cries of help from our children, our parents, our community, our children get hurt. There will be suicides. There will be shootings. It sounded so dramatic to say it. However, the reality is when victims don't feel heard and are punished for speaking, they turn inward, lose self-esteem, and often self-harm. When that brings no release, they will try to end their pain or punish those who hurt them. Here we are, a mere 5 months later, and a student has threatened to shoot up our schools. Locked and loaded, ready, cleaned, Sunday done. See you all in hell tomorrow. Bye. You did not notify our community of this threat. What is the district doing to ensure that this will not happen again? What is our district's action plan? What actions are you making to address the underlying problem that has got us here? My 8-year-old son climbed into bed with me last year for his nightly snuggle, then pulled back with tears in his eyes. He asked, "Is it true that mommies touch little boys in bed?" The constant roasting on our buses by an older student to my child, and I quote, "I fucked your mother last night." His little heart and brain couldn't comprehend what was being said to him. It cracked the foundation that my husband and I built. You allowed him to be conditioned, and you did nothing about it. I don't consent. He doesn't consent. The after effect, just a mere year later, for constant bullying and sexual harassment while on our buses last year, is we had to have an emergency meeting with a child psychologist regarding our 8-year-old son wanting to end his life. We were told this is not a joke. If he says this again, put him in the car and drive directly to the children's ER. Call me on the way. How young is too young for suicide here in Canton? My daughter, Mia, was a true testament to the dedication and qualifications of our teachers and support staff here in Canton. After begging for help regarding the constant sexual harassment and bullying on our buses and in our school district in lunchrooms, she regressed. And ultimately, we had no choice but to pull her from our district while we figured out our plan of action to protect her. She is the loneliest she has ever been. She wants to be back with her friends. She deserves to be back with her friends. You had no right to strip her and the teachers of their years of hard work. She did not consent. You had one chance to get this right, and you have continuously got it completely wrong. Why do Derek and Yeshi Lamore get to stay in our schools, but my children are out of district? Does that not sound weird to you guys? This is our community, our school. Start conducting yourselves as such. The administration is employed by our community. You are not the boss of our community. The longer we take to hold our school boards and administration accountable, the more time we hand over and give this administration the time to determine what they feel is acceptable for the physical, emotional, and mental health of our children. Their bar has been set neglectfully low. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to section H.